Maul Mondays are back, and they're better than ever. Guys, we've just been blessed by the Star Wars gods with the brand new release of episodes 7 and 8 of Maul Shadow Lord, and I could not be happier. I absolutely could not be happier, because this has been one of the best shows that we have gotten in forever. I mean, like, look, I love The Mandalorian. It's incredible. It's always going to be my favorite show. But there's something about Star Wars animation that is, just churns up every happy feeling that's inside of your gut. It's like the microbiome of bacteria just give a little, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God. There's something about Maul that just makes you yearn for more Star Wars. And nothing better than when Sam Witwer is doing them all. Guys, I want to talk about two big things today. First of all being fights, and the second I want to talk about the episode core. But guys, look, the fights have been the best thing in this whole series. Not only has the story ramped up incredibly, but they've done more with the fights than they've ever done with any other show. And we're only 8 episodes in, which is crazy. It's crazy. I've never seen a show like this continue to work on adding more and more elements into the fights to feel like not only are we getting a progression throughout the series of the story, the themes, the everything, but we're actually getting a progression with the fighting, which is how it's meant to be. Every character is learning the other one. Every character is learning how to, kind of be getting more comfortable in themselves. And then every character is put in harder and harder situations, which forces an even more difficult version of themselves to really shine through. Look, the first thing I want to say about the fights is how incredibly fluid they are. I mean, you can compare this a lot with live action stuff, which I think is hard because animation can do so much more. But removing live action, moving that to the side, really. I mean, you've got the animation fights that are nowhere near this incredible. We've had some good ones, we've had some great ones, and some downright incredible ones, but nothing as fluid as this. All the characters are moving perfectly in their own way with their own styles and their own forms of movement. It's taking into account the environment, it's taking into account every aspect of the lightsaber. How heavy is the lightsaber? How light are they, like the person themselves? It's just agility over strength and everything. It's just... And nothing proved this more than the fight that the Inquisitors had with Maul. That scary bird guy and Marok. I'm not gonna lie. I was terrified for Maul. Look, I understand that his knee was kind of like broken a little bit, and I mean his hip was also kind of screwed after Marok. But like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was incredible. Oh my God! It was like, I remember spitting out my drink, going, oh my. What is this? Like, there's one specific thing that if you guys have watched the previous episodes of me doing reviews of the different Maul episodes, you know that I talk about how they're implementing different things from different shows. And how if there's something successful in a certain show, they will add it in this. Now, I saw something in the fighting that really, really called me back to the Star Wars Visions when they had... No, sorry, not Star Wars Visions. It was the 2D animated Clone Wars. Okay, the 2D animated Clone Wars, there was one thing where Asajj Ventress was fighting Anakin Skywalker. And in there, Anakin Skywalker goes on top of this temple, and while he's going, and the lightsaber's just kind of like frothing at the bit. You could feel it. It was just, oh God, you could tell it wanted to lunge itself deep into the chest of Asajj. But in that, the water was sizzling off of the lightsaber. Something that we haven't seen. I mean, they never did it practically, obviously because it's a bit too hard. I mean, you're working with these little kind of rods, and then what are you going to do with the CGI? I get it. Not complaining, but that's something that is so important. That is real world lore, and I love it. I love every bit of it. I was just eating it all up. It's just every aspect of this fight was. You know what I mean? Like, Another thing that I want to talk about is Maul's Force screaming. Now, I know I said this about an earlier episode, but there's something different about this. Not only is Maul not using this just so that he can get the advantage in the fight, but he's using all of these lessons that you're seeing so distinctly come from Palpatine himself, and you remember that he is his pupil. The benefit of the Force Scream is that he will become someone that kind of like, that scream just goes, it goes out and it confuses everyone. He will become someone that's kind of like a flashbang, you know what I mean? It's like, well, everyone's a little bit confused. And look, I get that it might be overused, and I was kind of a little bit confused when he did the Force Scream and the twist, but that was a Palpatine move. That was a Palpatine move. If you guys have ever played Battlefront 2, then you would know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's actually one thing that I really want to touch on for the next bit, is I think, honestly, and hear me out here, I know, obviously, the Battlefront 2, it came out after all of this stuff, and they've based it on all of the shows. I get it, but there's something about these fights, there's something about the characters and the abilities of what they're doing that strikes me so much like Battlefront 2. Like, I understand that Sam Witwer is a big fan of video games, he plays a lot, and he also played a lot of Battlefront 2. He was accused of farming Maul. Now, when you watch his fighting style, not only is that reminiscent of said Maul, but that's also the other characters. All these other characters that you get to see, like Palpatine, Vader, all this kind of stuff. You're seeing the same movement, and I love it. I love it. I love it. But there's one thing that I would like to defer. The difference between the Maul that is on Battlefront 2 and the Maul that is in Maul Shadow Lord, which is the next thing that I want to talk about, is how he's not composed anymore. That's one thing that really threw me off. The difference between Maul in previous iterations, be that from TV shows, from the movies, is that he's an angry guy. Now, obviously, he's going to be angry throughout, but a lot of the time in Shadow Lord, and even before that in Season 7 of Clone Wars, he was super composed. This guy, he knows exactly what he wants, he knows exactly what he needs to do, and he will find any way to do it. But if he can be calm while doing it, then it's going to throw the other person off. They're going to underestimate him, and then he can have the advantage. But this one was different. You could see that he was slowly, while remembering all of these different aspects of his past, he was just slowly turning into this angry, bitter, just... And you're getting this swap, which I think is a beautiful natural progression to what we see him in Rebels, but you're getting this incredible progression of really angry, really tough, to a beautiful sweet spot at his peak, really. I mean, you're getting him at the head of all of these crime syndicates, and he's just the underworld boss. But then it leans towards the old man who is composed but angry of his past. It's just... chef's kiss. And don't even get me started on the lightsaber throw. I mean, like, oh my god, there was something about the way he throws his lightsaber with just... and then... Like, you could tell the Inquisitors were just running for dear life. They were petrified. Absolutely petrified. And I'm all there for it. I would absolutely be petrified as well. I'm not gonna lie. If I saw some crazy dude with a red face and black markings on it and horns coming out of his head, and he's like, with these robo legs, and he throws a lightsaber at me, bro, no, I'm not gonna be okay. I will say though, with him pulling the ceiling down, that was so reminiscent of the final season of Clone Wars when he didn't have a lightsaber and he was pulling apart the Venator. Whoa, that was sick. That was sick. That was really, really sick. But I do want to get into the core of the episodes. So the second part that I wanted to talk about is just the core of what it is for Maul and also the other characters. One thing that I'd like to say really kind of, it excited me because I'm enjoying the depiction of Devon. I really like how Devon is not necessarily choosing to be a side Maul when it comes to fighting, because when it all came down to it, she goes, oh god, I have to fight Maul if I'm going to survive. So I'm going to have to fight with Maul if I'm going to survive. And she's put into a really peculiar predicament, right? Maul wants her on his side, but she doesn't want to go there. Maul is fighting, and he's incredible at fighting, but there's so many stormtroopers, she knows that she's going to have to help. So she has to join him. But then she chooses to leave. After all of that, you can tell it's hard for her, which is the most interesting part, right? Because the thing is, the captain's son called her even before. Riley, he was at the back, and that little supply crate, whatever it is, and he goes, come here, Devon, come here. She couldn't do it. Why? What is it about Maul that makes me love him so much? I mean, I'm the exact same as Devon. I'm looking at this going, I know you're the bad guy. Like deep down inside of me, I know that you're the bad guy, but I can't feel it. I can't feel it. All I feel is I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you and everything that's happened to you. I'm also intrigued by you because you're such an interesting and compelling character. I'm also terrified. I'm terrified of this person. How have you gotten to this point? What do you want from what do you me in Devon's eyes? Like what do you want from me? How am I useful to you other than to use me as a weapon? But it didn't seem like that. Because every time he lets them go. I mean, he does. Obviously, he did that whole force thing, like he forced push Riley, then he forced Devon into the lightsaber, like igniting the lightsaber and everything like that. I get it. That's that kind of like evil part that you remember, oh, okay, he is the bad guy. But when it comes down to it, he's not. And you're seeing these really early connections between Maul and a younger character, which even later on he goes, I'm never going to allow anything to happen to these people like what Palpatine did to me. No one else is going to feel my pain. No one else is going to share my burden. So you're seeing this kind of like work way through, and I mean, look, full kudos to the writers, to the animators, to be able to do something like this and to work it that well to the point where I'm behind the screen going, no, more. I love you guys. I love you. Thank you so much. Like, it's incredible. It's incredible. But one thing that I'm really like, I think all of you are in the same boat. We all had that moment where we're like, oh my God. Hearing Palpatine, oh my God. Sam Witwer voicing Palpatine is, that's another level of absolute beauty. This show has everything. This show has everything. It's got all of it, and it's packed into this one beautiful little suitcase. But what I will say is, remembering Savage, Palpatine, Kenobi, and his tormented past, we got a really interesting look into the psyche of Maul. Now, I don't know if it really was that dusty in that little vat, that kind of like massive cylindrical tunnel that he was kind of like crawling on his hands and knees through. I don't know. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was kind of like added on to just get a little bit of a feeling of where he's at. But it made it 10 billion times better. Where it was a fog of hatred, because that's really Maul. He's trying to work his way through this tormented, painful past. You remember that he was just a beautiful kid. He was just a nice kid. Everyone is someone's son, right? And you feel that deep into your core, who you are. You just go, oh God, I hate feeling this way for you. Like, I wish it never happened, because you know he could have turned out good. But how is he navigating this? And that's what's so cool, is you're seeing how much his brother Savage meant to him. You're seeing how much Palpatine hurt him and the kind of things that he did. And that was crazy. Fighting him with a lightsaber and then turning his guard just to zap him with lightning. Like, look, you can have any element of pain towards Maul and I'm going to feel bad. But there's something about that, knowing how he is as a kid. Seeing the fear of Kenobi. I never really saw Kenobi like that. If you look at it from Maul's perspective, yeah, it is just this silhouetted angry figure with a glowing green lightsaber chopping you in half and sending you into this physical and psychological hellhole. It was really interesting seeing all of that from all of these different perspectives, and seeing that tormented past was just... It made when he was apologizing to his younger self so much more impactful. It really genuinely made it so much more impactful. Like, it made you realize what he's doing and how he's not a Sith and how he's definitely not a Jedi, but he's in this really strange ecosphere that's his own. I don't even see similarities between Baylan Skoll or anything like that. It just is what it is. It really is what it is. I love it. I love how they're going with this. But one thing I would like to kind of finish up on the core of the episodes is there was a quote here that I heard from Devon, and it was just, it made me think that Devon is someone that won't turn to the dark side, that maybe he will lose this character, because she sounds like the perfect Jedi. When she was talking to Riley and he was saying about, how afraid he was after the whole interview, or like, I mean, not interview really, but like how he was really hurt and he was afraid. And she said this quote, "Fear is natural. We just can't let it control us." That's a beautiful way to look at the Jedi. Like, she's more of, I know grey Jedis don't exist, but she's more of a grey Jedi, more of a Qui-Gon than anyone else. How can the older Jedi still remain in the same way and not have any kind of upgrade to any personality, their morals, whatever? This is what's interesting about Devon, and it does kind of lean me towards, well, obviously maybe she might be in towards a middle ground. Is that where Maul is? No idea. But I think it's going to be a lot harder than Maul thinks to be able to turn Devon, because she is a true epitome of a Jedi. It's just the perfect fit. And really, just to finish off, we kind of know where he's at. I mean, like, Dryden Voss has called him for attendance. If no one knows, in Solo, he is the major leader of the Crimson Dawn. This is the one that Kira is in a relationship with, kind of in the partnership, and Han does all this stuff, and he's super jealous of this guy. Really cool character. I don't know if we're going to see him. We probably will. I don't know if he's even going to get there to that point, is what I'm saying. Like, is he going to be halted getting off the place, like getting off this land? Like, what? I don't know what's going to happen, but it's really interesting to see how he's going to level up to get to the point where he is in Solo. And we know now that at the head of the Crimson Dawn and all of this kind of stuff, he's just going to be this fear-mongering villain of great proportions. But I will say, just 3 special mentions. I want to say how incredible of a voice actor Sam Witwer is. I know I touched on it before with Maul and Palpatine, but he's just incredible. He's incredible. I can't wait to see more of him. He's someone that I genuinely think Star Wars has been unbelievably blessed to have. And it's just, I'm so grateful for him, because both him and Filoni are the core of what I think is keeping Star Wars together, and it's beautiful. I can't wait to see more of their projects. I can't wait to see these final 2 episodes, and then the next series. I want to also talk about how we might not see Vader or Palpatine. That's kind of a little bit of a special mention. I don't know. I don't think we will. I think it's going to be more impactful to see the Inquisitors grow, and then maybe the second series we get to see him kind of meeting that. But if it's going to happen, it might be the final of the last episode where they just go dun dun dun, and Maul kind of rocks out, and it's just, is that whole thing. And to finish up with a verdict that I found on IGN, and I compiled a bunch of them together. I didn't really like what they were doing. I think a lot of people are getting angry about the kind of progress that Maul is making, how it feels like this is stagnant, that he's not really in his show, but he is. And it's incredible, and I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, you have to have the character build up to have these intense moments. We know that we're getting multiple seasons of this. We know we're getting a lot of Maul. If you had him all in every single episode all the time, you're getting bored of the character. I'm sorry, you will. I mean, he's not going to change, right? But this is a verdict from IGN, which I think definitely tailored towards my view of it. This is it. Maul Shadow Lord is only becoming more compelling and enjoyable as time goes on. Episodes 7 and 8 ramp up the tension even more, throwing the 11th brother into the mix and tilting the playing fields against Maul and his crew in a very satisfying way. Completely agree. The highlight of this pair of episodes comes as Maul faces his own hellish vision quest, and we get to see a full sense of the pain, self-loathing, and anger that motivate him. Let's hope this trend only continues leading into the final 2 installments of season 1. I think that was the perfect depiction of the show. I really unbelievably and truly agree with this. I mean, like, I love what they're doing. I love how they're writing it. I haven't seen Star Wars like this for a long time, and it's making me really excited for the future. And honestly, guys, I really want to know what you think as well. And let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. It's so important to me to be able to see you guys and to see what you think, if you're liking this, because then I can get a good gauge and see, how to tailor my responses to the masses. But without that, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying this long. If you are this long, I appreciate you guys. To bring up some statistics here, I mean, like, I'm unbelievably grateful for you guys. I'm unbelievably grateful. But I will say, it's just it blows my mind. It blows my mind to see how incredible you guys are. I have 137 views on my Maul episodes 3 and 4, and I have 84 views on my 5 and 6. You've been incredible. You've been incredible. You've been honestly so helpful to me and just so supportive. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys are enjoying this new style of content, the stuff that I'm doing. I love you all. I love you all so much. Please check out Mando Mating on Mondays or Tuesdays. Keep an eye on Instagram. I always upload on there, and I'll tell you what's going on and where we're going. I love you all so much. I hope you have the best week. Enjoy rewatching Maul 50 million times, because I know I will. I've already watched it twice, both episodes twice. Like, it's just... I love you all. Remember, may the Force be with you always, and this is the way.